Hey guys, we got a little bit of a mail call here, and this was an eBay auction that I won, and it looked to be in really good shape. So but there's no way of knowing, what the overall shape is. And this is a granite angle block. And I was one of two bidders. There was a little bit of a battle. If you were the other guy that was trying to get this, I'm sorry, I really wanted this. What it is it's an angle block. It's got threaded inserts. Let me tip it down a little bit here so you can see what's going on with it. There. We got 1/4 threaded inserts on one side. You've got a blank face on the other side, which is a measuring surface. You've got steel inserts on this side, and this is a measuring surface. And then on the bottom, you've got one large metal insert there. Now this is for sticking it down to a magnetic base. So you could put this granite block down on a magnetic plate on this side and on this side. So typically you would bolt your part up against the threaded inserts and expose maybe two sides, top and side here and here. So you would put it on the magnetic plate, grind, and then on these inserts here, just take the whole piece with the part still installed, flip, grind, and that gives you a square edge. So that's the nature of this type of tooling plate. This is actually a working block for actually putting on the machine and working. It's not just measuring only, but it does need to be very accurate. I've cleaned it and made a few sweeps with it in comparison to my standridge, and got a few little discrepancies. The worst one was 4/10 over this 6-inch surface. Not necessarily this one surface, but one of the surfaces was 4/10 off. This is made by Dual. That's an old Dual block, but pretty nice piece of granite. And I'm going to run it down to standridge and let him give it a once over on 4 sides. I want my 4-sided block. So it would be bottom, face, side. All right. So that's one of my eBay purchases. Okay, well, here's another auction item that I picked up. These are what I'm getting rid of. This is the TPG. No, it's not TPG. It's something different. Let's see. It's a TPK insert cutting head, and these are ceramic inserts here by Sandvik. And the performance is good. It's a little hammery on the machine, and it's just kind of hammering the spline drives. It takes this insert by Sandvik, and that's a TPKN 16, and by Sandvik. And these are a special profile out on the nose radius just for milling. They've got the radius, but then it's got kind of a flat spot in it. And I doubt if I can get you in close enough to see what these inserts look like out on the tip. I actually use a jeweler's loop to get in there. I'm going to try to put that right up against the lens, and I don't know whether you can see that flat spot or not, but the way these orient in that milling cutter, that flat spot is oriented down against the work, so it makes a sweep, or whatever you want to call it, against the work. So these are just for milling, and it's performed well. I've had the 2-inch and the 3-inch for a long time. Both take the same insert. A little hammery on the splines in the head, and I have to get in there and coat the splines very regularly with that black moly. So in lieu of that, I got into an auction, and I bought some sandvik stuff. And here I've already got them on arbors. And these are the Coral Mill The first one I'm going to show you is a core mill. Let's do the square one first. This is the core mill 290. This takes a square insert, and I've ordered inserts. These that came in and are hammered. This is a 3-inch square insert, 290. You know, 6 cutters on that. I've tried it, but the carbide's so worn out on it. Even with the best ones turned around, it's still not performing the way I think it should. But I thought I'd try it. He kind of threw this into the deal. I bought 2 3-inch cutters, and he said, well, let me go ahead and send you this because I got no use for it. Here's another 3-inch, and this is a Coral Mill. This is a 390. This was a 290. This is a 390. This takes a rectangular insert. And you can see these have a really large, look at this one, it's got a really large corner radius. I was kind of anxious to test this. I did a 90,000 step the cut, 300 RPM, and it plowed through it, and the machine wasn't bogging at all. So that's pretty good. 6-tooth cutting head, 3-inch on a 2 horsepower Bridgeport clone. And so the performance of this is pretty good horsepower wise. But I got some more testing coming up, and I got some more inserts coming in. I got a few that came in. These are all eBayed odds and ends. There was a guy that had a pack of 6 here, which is just enough to do this head one time with a pretty small corner radius. These are all the ceramic coated carbide. You can tell the sides are, you got the regular gold looking carbide, but the faces are kind of a black coating. And your cutting surface is right out here. So you can kind of see that radius. Let me put my finger behind it so you can get a background. So that's a pretty healthy radius on that one. And then I've got some really, here's a really big radius on these. I got about 4 different radii to play with. There's a pretty big one right there too. So I've got some different corner radius to play with, and these are for milling up to a shoulder. So I've got, this is 2 different styles in here. There's a different style here. I got more coming. So the 390, pretty impressed with it so far, just with the one little test I did. The 390, I also got a 2-cut 1-inch shank. It's a Weldon type shank. So I've actually got an adapter coming in from R8 to 1-inch, so I can plug this in and give this a try. I'm hoping that's going to be rigid enough with that tool holder hanging way out to run this, but I don't see a whole lot of pressure on a 1-inch. So that's another piece that goes with it. So I've got the 3-inch, the 1-inch, and then I did get, here's a very, very used 1.5. It's still in very good shape. The carbide lands where everything seats is in pretty good shape. I had to do a little bit of diamond dressing on a couple of them just to make sure that remove any burrs. It's been crashed. It's got a couple drag marks on it, as they will do. But this is the Core Mill 390. This is a 5-tooth, and it'll take the same inserts as the 3-inch and the 1-inch. So I'm pretty happy with that acquisition, and I can't wait to try them out. Been to Sandvik's website. They got wonderful selection guides for which mill head to choose, cutter head, and then insert selections based on your job. That's for the 390, the rectangular insert, and then they've got them here for the 290 for poor conditions, medium conditions, and ideal conditions, and then they help you with insert selection there to get you started, and then they move on to your actual carbide charts for good conditions, average conditions, and difficult conditions. So pretty nice website, and pretty easy to navigate and find your way around and get your Sandvik part numbers. So can't wait to give those a shot. Look for those on an upcoming episode.
Okay, so I got a little care package from James Green, and
not readily available in my neck of the woods is hoppies or hops. I don't know if it's pronounced hoppies or hops. I like hops. These are wonderful. This is like a pop-up little towelette that's already got hops on it, and it's just a good oil. It lays down a nice film that's not easily rubbed off. And he sent me some of the gun oil, so that was pretty cool. So thank you, James. I've got actually sent me a really nice supply of them. So I got 3 of the wipes. I'm gonna wipe down squares and tooling blocks and my guns and all kinds of other stuff. And then he sent me some slitting saws, some of the little jeweler saws, little tiny things. That's what are these, 45 thousandths thick, probably I guess the 68. That might be a 68 tooth, little tiny feller there. But these are great little saws for doing a little fussy work. And you go through them, you know, they only last so long, especially in stainless. I actually do 45 thousandths slitting in 3/16 stainless. So high speed steel doesn't stand a chance. And you send a 2 3/4 by 32 thousandths, then a 3" by 81 thousandths. These have a 1" arbor. These have, maybe I need to make one for that, a little 1/2" arbor. Then he sent some pneumatic stuff. These are some super heavy duty, high powered single acting cylinders. These are just spring return. So pressurize the port. It's got about 1" of stroke. So I've got 2 of these now. I might make myself a little air vise or something that you could just step on a pedal and clamp something rapidly for repetitive work. So that's cool. We've got these, which are a mystery. They've got a port with an 1/8" pipe thread in the back. And if you look down inside, you can see looks like a check valve. But I've pushed and pulled on these things, and I can't get this plunger to do anything. So it's some type of, it's got to be a high pressure hydraulic. He sent me 2 more of them. I think I've already got 2 here that he already sent me. So I need to identify those. What else we got in here? Oh, 3 of them. Okay. And a little nice little Jacobs chuck. Pretty nice. And number 1A, capacity 0 to 1/4 inch. So that'll go all the way down to nothing. This might be my nicest one for little tiny work. I'm going to chuck it up, see how it runs. It looks really clean. So pretty nice. So Mr. James Green, I sure appreciate you sending that stuff over. I know I got your name up on the board for squares, so which I haven't finished my run of squares yet, but sure appreciate you sending it over, and I'll get that stuff out to you as soon as I get it done. All right? Thanks. And some of you are probably going to remember seeing this. I've already taken it out of the high density foam. I guess we keep sending this stuff. And this is probably going to look familiar to you. And this is a really nice piece. Look at that packing job. That's a Tessa Swiss-made knife edge square. Heavy, nice. It looks like it's ground on the knife edge. And looking down that camera, you can see how straight that thing is. That thing's straight as an arrow. So very nice Tessa. I've got some old test equipment, Swiss made. But my buddy Tom looked and sent that down to me. Thank you, Tom. I don't really have any good plain old fashioned squares like this. This is actually going in the chrome drawer. I think we'll just use that for measuring. And the advantage of a knife edge square like this is when you put it up against something, you've only got one little edge to show daylight through. So if you bring something up against it, and look through, you've only got just the, the head of a pin that you're looking through instead of one big flat spot that can block the light. So it almost works like a cylinder square for checking square visually. So very nice, and I'm sure there's other uses I can come up with for the Razor's Edge square. We cut open some boxes with it or something. Kidding. Okay, so Tom, thanks for sending that over. And something he also sent over that I don't have, but I do now, is you probably recognize this too. But the saying on it: if at first you do succeed, try to hide your astonishment. So pretty clever. And this is a little Brown and Sharp blade mic, which I thought was kind of cool. And it's got, it's got a history. It's got an engraving on it, HRE Co. So it belonged to a company at one point. And as far as blade mics go, you want contact all at the same time. And that thing is pretty much zero right on the button right there. There's no ratchet or anything on it, but it just takes a nice light feel. And again, this is one of those things that goes in the chrome drawer and stays there. You don't need them very often, but Lord, when you do, it sure would be nice to get down into a very narrow groove. You know how thin those the blades are on this, very thin. And as Tom was stating, the barrel and the increments are kind of got an incline on them. See if it'll focus on that. Right here, you see the way that all the hash marks are coming out at an angle, so you can see them exposed beyond the cylinder, and it's an aid to help you read your mic a little more effectively. Sometimes you're splitting a line and you can't tell, but if the line's coming out at an angle, you can tell whether you're at the 25 or the 50 mark or the 75 mark. So pretty cool. And thanks again, Tom, for that. And anytime you need something else coated, send it on down, Tom. I'll get you fixed up.